I love ants. They've been an obsession since I was a kid. I've actually owned and still own to this day a few colonies. You start them in a nanotube, a test tube, and they lay their eggs and they form their colonies. Those eggs are actually nutritious and really, really edible. I don't know what that is. That I won't try that. I put my two brain cells together and I made a living organism that shows you when it's hungry, that it feels alive, that you have to feed, and that will die. All of which uses redstone. Immersion is my passion, and in recent years I've realized that instead of actually going to your boring setup of chicken eggs, where you actually go and collect them from a hopper, you can actually make them more immersive. For instance, my farms have recently become much more immersive. Like in this world, I made a sheep farm with wool. Now there's no sheep because someone came and killed them. But then if you follow this road, you will get this melon farm, which is inside this entire farm. And that's pretty much the goal of this ant queen, to make it more immersive and fun to have eggs. And here we are in our little lab. As you can see, we got this really beautiful ant queen right over here. She's got everything. She's got the little scars, really cute little eyes, the antennae even move. However, this one for some reason broke, and it's extremely loud. I'm getting a headache. So I guess it's better to keep it like this. But yeah, so as you can see, this ant is actually alive. Well, you can't see it right now. She's got a little tube connected to her abdomen, which is where her stomach is, and all the egg-laying process happens in real life. What this tube does is get all those juicy ant eggs, which we have here, represented in bone blocks. So they come up here to this chest, and these guys pick the little eggs like the ants they are, and they put them in this chest for us to enjoy. And as you can see, the ant is right now in her little chamber, and she is full. She's still not hungry at all. In a moment, you'll see that she switches to hungry. Aha! There you go. I forgot to fix that. There you go. Now we got this stomach really, the abdomen really folded inside, and that's because she is hungry. So now what we're gonna do is head over through this tunnel into the loud place. Jeez, it's so loud. Let's head over here real quick and see how she, in a moment, actually becomes full again. If she doesn't die before, because I put the timer, which we'll see later, a little short. No, actually not. Look at that. She's not hungry anymore. What happens behind the scenes? Well, that's what we're gonna look. So if we head over right here into this area and we hop into spectator mode and we come in here, we'll see... Oh, what? I didn't know you could do that. You can get pushed by pistons in spectator mode. Huh, that's really weird. I guess pistons have ghost properties. Anyway, let's not get distracted. So, as you can see, there's a little timer for the animation. You got these hoppers in a line that just go down. This part is exposed for some reason. You just go down, down. And this is the animation part, but we're not interested in this yet. And we go down here, all the way through the esophagus, and this is where the entirety of the organs are. So the first part is this. This is the food intake section, alright? So the food comes through here and gets filtered, so to make sure that nothing other than sugar comes in, so she can't eat anything else. If you want to do it, you can actually make it so that she can also eat other things, but for now this is the primitive version, and any other item comes here. So if I put something like, I don't know, clay here, she's not going to be able to eat that. She's not going to like it, so you can send it somewhere else. You have to specifically give her a food item, specific food item. So as you can see, if you may recognize this contraption, this is a normal item filter, the one that you normally use for item sorters. This sends a signal every time there's items in this hopper, but when there's a specific amount of items. Right now, it's not sending them down, so the signal is not as strong enough as to actually turn this off, which will allow the items to go down these hoppers. So they're actually closed right now because of this little torch that is powering this red block. You know what? I'm not going to explain how an item filter works. I'll do it in the future. The items go down here into this hopper, and what this hopper does is simply just send all the items into this hopper minecart. This hopper minecart sends them down into this other hopper, which at its turn sends the items into this little hopper. And this is the throat. You can see this as the throat, okay? So this is the mouth and this is the throat. And here we have the stomach area, could you say. So this is a little etho timer, and etho timers are something special that I will explain in another video. What a voice crack. I'm 21 and I'm still having voice cracks. I'm gonna die with voice cracks. I just know. Anyway, so this delays the items just to give us a bit more time to digest, to like get them inside the stomach. And down here we have the literal stomach. And just like before, we also have an item filter here, sorter. Instead of actually filtering specific items, this just detects whether there's actually items in this area. Barrel. So it's just the exact same component. This entire thing is actually just built of components that you can actually Google up and use. So now it's blocked, so nothing can come in. This is editor me. I forgot to say that it is for the items to actually wait a little bit before being thrown out, so it doesn't send different signals, but yeah. And it sends the items down here for digestion, so they get destroyed and you don't get like the items back, so you can feed her endlessly. But so you still have to make a little farm just to feed your ant. But how does the ant know it's actually full and not actually starving? When this observer detects this is activated, that is, that the stomach is full of food, not entirely full, but still has food, it will turn this on until this turns off, because there's no more items in the stomach, there's no more food. This will stay on, so any timers will keep restoring until there's no more items there. Okay, so how does this restore? So now we come to the timer area, and this is a timer for starvation, and yeah, pretty much. So it's a countdown to starving and then ultimately death. So what this guy does is turn off this blocking signal, alright? So because that's what it's doing, it's blocking these hoppers. This entire thing is what's counting down to starvation, okay? And this is composed of two timers. So the main term is starve timer, etho timer is this one. So you can actually modify how long you want this ant to be able to survive without giving her food, just by adding more of these, but I'll get to that in a moment. This is the starve timer. If you were to fill it up entirely, it would count 4 minutes and a half, I think. Yeah, so it would count 4 minutes and a half if you were to fill it up. I just gave it less time so that we can see the changes quicker. Oh, let me turn this off. But of course, 4 minutes and a half isn't really enough. you're gonna have to do other stuff in your world, and you can't just stay by your ant. So this is just fully customizable how much time you want your ant to be able to survive without you. So what we do is, if we fill this up with items and we get 4 minutes, what we do is extend the time of this timer. So what this does is, we have this comparator here. When this is empty and this is full, it means the timer has run out of time. So before this resets, it allows the items in here to be sent into the other hopper right here. So just one sword. Swords that are unstackable items count and give the same signals as a stack of items. But the difference is that these things take less time to move between hoppers, whereas these things go like this. They go one by one, and it takes much longer. That's basically the logic. So every time this timer runs out of time, it lets one of the swords from this hopper run here. Does it make sense? Because I think it does. Yeah, so how do we detect that this timer is actually like full and that the ant should starve? We have... Oh, she died. She just died. Please give her a minute of silence. So we have... This is the signal that goes out whenever this is full. However, we got this hopper controlling that it only gives a signal when this entire hopper is full. Alright, so as you can see, we got this full of swords and it's giving a signal. So what this comparator is doing on the side here is actually comparing this signal to this one that this hopper is giving. Does it make sense? So only when the signal from this hopper is the same as the signal from this hopper, it will give out a signal and ultimately make her die. So this actually defines that the ant has died. This is information. By the way, if you've come this far, it must mean that I am not that boring to listen to. So please consider subscribing and liking this video. Please. Now, in terms of hungriness, so to say, is that a real word? I'm not sure. Anyway, this tells the comparators that the ant is starving, but there's no room for more comparing. There's other systems down here. This comparator, which is already part of the etho timer, runs signals into here. And what we can do is actually detect this signal through this red block, representing a block full of signals. So these two are giving the same output signals. So this comparator is telling this one... Why is there an egg there? There shouldn't be an egg. So this comparator is telling this comparator that the ant is starving. And right now, she's actually starving. So we should see the starving animation upstairs. There you go, look at that. So the ant is shown to be starving. And this simply just sends a signal upstairs to the animation room. We'll take a look at that later. So we talked about how this restores the timers, but how does it do it? Well, we saw that the swords are here. As soon as it reaches the 5 swords in this hopper, it will say dead. Reset contraption does is unblock this hopper right here, which I just destroyed, and I killed the ant internally. I'm just not used to this crossbow thing. Okay, second take. But yeah, so this turns off, unblocks this item hopper, lets the items down, so it resets. It actually reset, and this hopper sends them upstairs, back to the beginning, so the item filter resets. And to send the swords back upstairs, you got this little contraption that just simply detects that there's items in there and sends and activates itself. And I got this command block just to tell me that it's restoring, it's actually working. But how much time does this like timer have? So if this was full, this would give you an entire Minecraft day, which is 20 minutes. So 20 minutes to feed her. So you have to feed her once every day, sort of. But you can actually extend it. For that, I suggest you check Etho's videos on his timers. He explains them much better than I do. Now we can turn into this area, which is the abdomen. This is where all the animation is going on. And as you can see, these pistons are retracted because it's starved. The signal has been sent that it's starved from the timers downstairs. What it also does is activate this little piston here to block these hoppers. So as you can see, there's a lot of chickens, and these are the ones that are actually producing all of the eggs. Yep, sounds like the biggest scam. So this block blocks the eggs. No eggs can be received by this hopper, and the eggs just lay out around in here until they despawn, but you're actually losing eggs. It stops laying eggs. Like in real life, an ant queen would not lay eggs if she's starving. But if you have been a good owner and you've been feeding your ant queen, she's gonna actually send the eggs. All the eggs up here, this hopper just sends them automatically into this little tube, and into the tube that she's got stuck in her butt, sends all the items through here, in here, another tube, and into the copper chest over there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is an entire organism. What happens when she dies? You could fill her up with TNT and make her explode so that it's extremely annoying for you to to have your ant dead. This was a really bad explosion, but you get the idea. Or since she's made out of wood, you can just burn her up. And to add an extra layer of spice, you could even put TNT down here that activates when she's dead, so that all these contraptions that you spend so much time building get destroyed, and you get so frustrated that you question, why would you do this in the first place? I'll tell you that, because it's fun. This is all basically a living organism. You got the food taken in, digesting, the timers that decide that it's being eaten or hungry, and the death, sending a signal here that you can connect to anything you like to have the consequences you like. But anyway, that's up to you to decide if you actually want to invest in building chores inside of Minecraft. I think it's a really funny minigame. There's endless possibilities you can actually do with that living redstone build. You can build all sorts of animals. I actually have a little idea for a future video, but yeah, it's just a really different take on a redstone automatic farm. It's a really more immersive experience in my way, and I just in Minecraft just prefer immersiveness to effectiveness. And yeah, I hope you actually liked it. I created A.L.I.V.E. You can call me God now. And just kidding. See you on the next one. Bye!